What's up, everybody? A Ward here, and I'm here to let you know that the A Ward Show is now officially brought to you by the Ripple to Wave Foundation, where they're manifesting waves of impact, one ripple at a time. Ripple to Wave empowers volunteers to create real change, from mentoring youth and protecting the environment to supporting those people in need. That includes seniors, veterans, and even animals. Yes, even animals. Every project is a chance to make your ripple in the community, and together, those ripples form waves of impact. The team at Ripple to Wave stays active with projects and events just about every weekend, and they're growing fast. Their Albuquerque, New Mexico team just launched their first project, and they're only getting started since their official launch on June 2nd of 2025. Get involved, volunteer, and learn more at rippletowavefoundation.org. That's Ripple, the number 2, wavefoundation.org. Follow them on all their socials at Ripple, the number 2, Wave Foundation on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to them on YouTube. Together, let's make some waves. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the A Ward Show. I'm your host and curator and engineer and all of the good things. I am A Ward, and I thank you for joining me for another episode. This episode is extremely special to me because I have a great friend of mine who decided to drop in the building and say hello and tell us about all the great things he's doing out in the world right now. If you were familiar with the old show, The Gray Space, he was on a couple times, and every time he came through, he was letting us know all the great things he was doing. But some things have changed. And my guest today is somebody I consider an inspiration as well as a friend. We followed his journey on The Gray Space, like I said. And he is now, as you all know, the first guest on the A Ward Show. He is someone who is for the community, a great philanthropist, and overall just a fantastic human being. His nonprofit work for, I want to say, like close to a decade, something like that. He's been doing this for a long time. Led him to one realization. You got to keep it going. Only this time under his own vision. He is here to talk about his new nonprofit, his organization, Ripple to Wave, his newfound aspect on this new ride that he's taking in life, and much more. And maybe we'll even break some news about some things that me and him are doing. You know what I'm saying? We got something cooking up. It is my honor and my pleasure to welcome my great friend, Mr. Right One, Anthony Freeman. What's up, my brother?
Man, I appreciate you having me on. It's an honor to be the first guest on this new show.
Yeah.
It's not new to this. True to this.
Yes, sir.
12 years in now.
Okay.
The nonprofit
I was going to say
world.
close to a decade. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man. I think what's kind of funny, man, is when you have people that you've met and you kind of move through life, there's always these weird parallels. You know what I'm saying? And obviously stepping away from the podcast space for me, and then getting back into it. And doing it shortly after you transitioned into Ripple to Wave. And for those who aren't familiar with kind of what you've done over the years, you know, for those who are new to this, that aren't true to this, kind of let the people know your work over the last a decade or so.
I would say my work is just playing my position to the best of my ability. You know,
Okay.
it's never about what I'm doing. You know, without the volunteers, without just the organization as a whole, without the community partners, supporters. You know, nothing. I mean, it would just be me, just picking up trash on some random road or something.
Right.
But the organization previously and currently, I've had the pleasure of just being a part of consistent outreach in the community, whether that's working with the youth, the environment, seniors, people in need, just, wherever there's a need. We've just been trying to do what we can with what we have wherever we can. And yeah, it's just being consistent with it, providing those opportunities for other people to create the change in their community that they want to see.
Right.
A lot of people have ideas of like, oh, this community needs help in this regard, or it'd be cool if there was this project or event, but they don't really know how to like make that happen.
Right. Right.
So being a part of helping them, bring that idea to fruition and see them create the impact that they want to see, like that's, to me, like it's a really cool thing to have been a part of.
Yeah. So as you have transitioned into the Ripple the Wave era, like what prompted that? Like, and you don't have to go too much into detail with the old situation that you had, but obviously things didn't end up the way that they were supposed to, or maybe they did. But now you're here and you started Ripple the Wave. When did you officially? Because I saw the dope launch that you guys had. That was dope. A lot of people showed up. So when was like the official Ripple the Wave, and kind of what made that decision for you?
So, like with the other organization, it just kind of, after 11 years, 8 months, it was kind of like, all right, what else can I personally do that I'm not able to do with this organization?
Okay.
It was great. The way that, I ended my tenure with that organization was probably like the perfect way to, we had our toy handout with Crisco's kids.
Okay.
And JJO Charities, we had our goal was like 1,000. We collected 1,300 toys. So we were able to help about, I'd say like 1,100 kids, because we had, after the event, we had leftover toys, like families that didn't show up. So we were able to drop off carloads of toys to Arizonans for Children, which is a foster family visitation center.
Okay.
A toy drive for Copper State Credit Union that went to the Foster Alliance.
Dope.
And then we also, what is it? There's a church that they were doing like a giving tree, like where people adopt families.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
She reached out and she was like, we have like 75 kids that we can't find anybody to. I was like, go to the storage, pick out what you need. We were able to help all 75 of them. So fair. Like to be able to wrap up, that's like the perfect way to be like, all right, you can't top that. Like, and so I resigned as president in December, took January to kind of refill the cup, wasn't even thinking about what's next. Like, cause when I resigned, it wasn't like I'm resigning because I'm going to do this. There was no what's next.
Okay.
It was just, I gotta figure that part out.
Yeah.
So I took January, kind of refilled the cup. It was weird to me not having something to do on a Saturday morning.
I bet.
Having, projects and events every Saturday for years.
Right.
And then in February, I started doing like consulting for other nonprofits, volunteering with, friends that have organizations, going out and just volunteering. Again, that was weird too, because just being able to show up and help, which is ultimately the root of why I do what I do.
Right.
But like not having to have my car full, and, people were still coming up to me, hey, where do you want me? What do you want me to do? I'm like, this isn't me. That's right. I'm just here to help. Like, right. I'm literally here just to volunteer. So that was an adjustment. But then throughout the time, people kept reaching out like, so what's next? What are you doing? You start your own. Like the encouragement is really what kind of prompted, because me, I was like, it'd be cool to have my own, but the paperwork, I don't want to do financial. I don't want all that back end stuff. Like, that's not why I do this. Like, I don't want to be bogged down with doing that stuff. So, eventually I was just like, I had offers from other like nonprofits that wanted me to come aboard, like, great salaries, great positions and all that. And I was like, do I really want to? Because I'm the type, if I'm going in, I'm all the way in.
Right.
I'm deep in, no floaties. I'm in.
Yeah.
Now, do I really want to do that and build somebody else's that I have been doing for over a decade?
Exactly.
So I was like, I might as well just start my own.
Okay.
So I made that decision probably March, maybe April. no, it was March because it took me like a month and a half to figure out the name. I was stuck on the name.
Okay.
I was way overthinking it. I wanted an acronym and every letter, like, some like I was
Give me something that got thrown out. What got thrown out?
Well, there were a few. I won't even because they're taken is why they got thrown out. So I don't want to give them for free promo.
Okay,
no,
okay.
but
Fair enough.
like I was along my mindset of like domino effect.
Got you.
And
okay.
again, that's taken. And so,
Oh wow.
Our multimedia coordinator Dimitri, he and I was like, let's just lock in. Today we're coming up with a name. So we were there for probably about 7 hours, and just throwing names, trying to figure stuff out. And then we were watching my old interviews, and something that I said frequently was, I don't need to make a big splash. If I could help create the ripple that leads to the wave, I'm good with that. And he was like, why not just call it Ripple to Wave? I was like, huh.
There it is.
Just overthinking it for months.
Yeah,
and so once we had the name, made the logo, I did the website, kind of did all that stuff, got everything squared away. Officially filed in May, but we announced June 2nd.
Okay.
And then we had that launch party at the end of August.
Yeah, that was dope.
And that was, I shout out to Blueprint Music Group and Multimedia Studios for donating that space for me to utilize for that.
Okay.
And just everybody that came out, to that type of support, and just the belief, like how many people have expressed belief in me and the vision and everything like that is just incredibly humbling. So, everybody that came out to the launch party, those that weren't able to make it but have still like reached out or supported in the ways that they have supported through this, I'm just very appreciative of.
And that's got to be dope, man, because saying that basically things ended the way they did, and on a good note, and that's great to hear. And then you're just kind of like resetting, and then but the scariness, right? The fear of, because like you said, you could have gone to somebody's organization and done what you've done for a decade, and that would have been easy. That would have been easy for you because I've been there, done that, and you would have made that successful as well. But then to do it, do something that's your own, find the name and basically kind of in an organic way, and then launch it. To see that type of support has to be like one of the most amazing things, because it's scary, man. Like, you don't know when you jump off the ship, man, and get in that low boat, you have no idea who's doing the same with you. You know what I'm saying? And so for you to have that support is amazing, man. And like I told you, man, like the stuff you do, it's so unsung. Like it should be screamed at the mountaintop. You know what I mean? Especially here in Arizona. And I know you do things in New Mexico as well, and other places. But I know what you did for the other organization. You're going to do the exact same thing and spread out and be in Texas and Cali and everywhere else. But I really think people in Arizona need to like tap in with what you're doing, because you say you rocking with Crisco Kid. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys have a great relationship that stems back years. Like I said, it's just got to be dope for you to have that support, man, going forward. You just had the kind of first official event for Halloween, and we were kind of talking about it before we started the show. Talk to the people about that, man, because you made it sound like it was a success, like it always is, man. So talk to the people about that.
Yeah, it was a great success. I didn't know what to anticipate, when that first, because we've done projects, since we launched. We've been every weekend and cleanups and things stuff like that, projects. Yeah. So this was our first like event. So we do typically like quarterly events, but obviously holidays. We got October, November, December, a big event each month.
Yeah.
So we've done like previous years a similar event that where we had success. You came out one year.
Yeah.
And so with this, we were like, all right, well, we're gonna do it, but we're gonna kind of switch a little bit, but kind of keep because the families that were coming out, if they come out, you don't want to just be like, oh, like you want that familiarity.
Yeah.
Because it's a new organization, and so. I didn't really have any expectations. Obviously, the hope is as many families come out, as many kids, many volunteers. Like, so I can't say like it exceeded because I didn't have expectations.
Okay.
And so it was a 2-hour event. It was a drive-through event, and we had about 100 cars. So like 200 kids came through the drive-through. We had a good amount of volunteers, a good amount of community partners that came out. So it was definitely a really great success. And now we just kind of build off of that. for that particular event, and then
Yeah.
celebrate the win. But
Move on to the next one.
we got so many things. Rest of the year we got something pretty much every weekend already locked in.
Yeah, and it's the end of the year.
Yeah, 2026 we're already mapping, and
Okay,
so.
good.
It's important to celebrate the wins, you know what I mean? But don't just be like, all right, we had a good event, we're done.
Yeah.
No, it's next event. What else can we do? What can we do to, increase the impact? And, so what was kind of challenging too, though, with it was, with the name, obviously we had to come up with a new name.
Right.
So it's no longer 5th annual. It's our first of this one. And so the volunteers, they voted on the name. It was like the Spooktacular Drive-Through. There were like 5 other events in the same area. We were doing an event called Spooktacular something. So next year we're gonna have to switch that name up. So that was the marketing aspect was hard because again you're going against 5 other events with the same exact. The only difference was ours had drive-through in it.
Okay.
But that was like
everything else was like a trunk or treat.
Yeah, there were trunk or treats for like basically like stationary type events where you have to park and stuff like that. So ours. That I'm familiar with was the only like drive-through one.
And it's dope. Like wasn't able to get out there this year. Definitely will be out there next year. Because by the time we spoke, it was kind of like that week, that last minute. But last year, man, like for the people out there, if you're in Arizona, man, around Halloween and you really want to give back and give to the community, and what I mean, you don't want to give out candy at the crib. Because, it's kind of weird or just annoying sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, how much candy will I get at a kid? You go to this event, man. It's a drive-through event. You guys had it at the same spot, right? And so it's dope the way it's set up. It goes around the building, and there's stations. And some of the stations have candy, but some of them have coloring books. Some of them have little, toys. Nothing crazy, but something that for the kids. And, man, to see some of these, I mean, sometimes you get a car 5, 6, 7, 8 kids in it, right? You get a Tahoe in there. Tahoe full of kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to see the joy on their faces, man, and they dress up, you know what I mean? And sometimes the parents get involved and get dressed up as well. And it's I remember leaving that event and, it ended kind of late, right? Not late, but at night. And I remember driving back to the crib, as you see now, it's kind of a drive. And being like, yo, that was and like for the next week after that, I was like, that was fire, man. Like, and the way you do it, man, the way you organize it, man, and your team, like you said, man, I know, I don't know certain names, but I do recognize faces that are still around, you know what I'm saying? That have been with you for a long time, man. And like I said, man, the way you do these events, man, is fire, man. Like it's super dope. So what's next what's the next event that you got coming up?
So next weekend we're doing a fall garden project with the Alhambra Preschool Academy.
Okay.
So their vegetable garden, their flower garden, and then there's going to be like different activities. So it's like a full on event that we do with that school. The following weekend we'll be at Sunny Slope Community Center. We got the Teens Giving. So City of Phoenix has this program called the Phoenix Teens, and the kids that are in that it's a program, so they keep good grades, they volunteer and do stuff in the community, they stay like active and stay out of trouble and stuff like that. So we do this event to, kind of just say like, we see you, like keep doing what you're doing, encourage them to keep at it. And also to kind of have those conversations with them about what do you want to do? What kind of programs and events, let's make it happen. What do you want to do? So having those conversations is big because, again, you want to provide programs and events that they're interested in. And teens, their interests are so varied and
especially nowadays.
Yeah. And so whatever we can do to keep them off screens, but also like with the Teens Giving, Canes is sponsoring, so they're, donating some food. Some raffle items, and then we just like feed them, play games, activities, do raffles, and just kind of hang out for a couple hours. So that's that weekend. The weekend after, it's either going to be a mobile distribution or another community cleanup.
Okay.
But then the big one is December 13th. That's the toy distribution.
Drive. Okay.
Yeah. So we're doing. We just kicked off our toy drive. But then Crisco, he does him and JJO Charities do their toy drive. The 10th, 11th, and 12th. So they post up outside the Walmart 51st Ave Indian School.
Okay.
From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. collecting toys, but also, so the toys they collect go to ours. but they collect food for the food bank, and then they also collect hygiene items and baby needs, and those go to UMOM. So it's like a big thing. Like the
That's
last couple of
fire.
years, we've been doing it with them. It's like pallets of food going to the food bank, pallets of hygiene items and baby needs going to UMOM. So it's a very impactful just week.
Yeah.
So yeah, their drive is the 10th, 11th, and 12th. The next day we do our handout, our distribution. We're still coming up with the name of it. We don't
Okay.
call it a toy handout.
Yeah.
But that's going to be at that Walmart as well. Walmart gives us the a portion of the west side of the parking lot, and like they cone it off, like they let
That's
us
fire.
post that there. So the goal this year is 1,000 kids.
Okay.
For our first toy drive, that is a lofty goal.
Yeah.
You know, it took us 12 years to get to 1,000 toys the previous 2 years.
Okay.
And so to be able to kick off our first toy drive at 1,000 is big. So that's that's the big one. And then we're going to wrap up the year every year with a volunteer appreciation event.
Okay.
So that's another one of the many new and different things that we're doing at this organization.
Okay.
We definitely want to show our volunteers more appreciation. I mean,
Yeah.
I make it a point to, show appreciation as often as I can, but something like twice a year, when we have our annual, like, hey, this is year 2, year 3, again, doing some type of volunteer appreciation. So just doing more things like that. So it's not always like, hey, come pick up trash in the community, like something for them.
Yeah.
So awards and, things like that. So, that'll wrap up the year. And then I recently had a meeting with the community center, and we locked in 4 events with them next year.
Okay.
So we're going to do a career and resource fair in the first quarter, youth talent show in the summer, their back to school event with them, and then the Teens Giving. So we're locked in with those 4 with the
For next year.
Community Center.
That's dope.
So there's a lot that's already kind of like in the works for next year. Like I like to stay ahead. That way it also allows volunteers time to know what's coming up.
Yeah.
A lot of these like events, they require a lot of planning. So it kind of gives you time to like, you're working on what's now, but at the same time working on what's coming up.
So what's the process like as you talk about like the Canes of the world and the Walmarts, and like, what is that process like getting these companies on board with, either donating food or, like you said, donating the parking lot? Like, is this from, past relationships? And even if it is, how does that initial conversation go? Like to get that type of support? So
it's kind of a few different ways. So like when I resigned from the other organization, I want to say left, like I just like I'm out.
Yeah,
I kind of did, but I resigned. I did it officially.
Right.
Majority of the volunteers, community partners, people that were supporting, the efforts over there, they told me wherever you go, I go.
Dope.
So a lot of volunteers, I don't want to say they followed me, but they, they believed in my intentions, so much.
And your integrity as well, bro. Yeah, so for sure.
And so that goes for Albuquerque too.
Yeah.
But like Walmart, that was a relationship that came through Crisco.
Okay.
Because he was doing his toy drives there for long before we started doing stuff together.
Okay.
And then like Canes, it's like kind of reaching out. This is what we have going on. One of the challenges is going from, for the past X amount of years, we've been doing this project or event. These are the pictures and results and everything, to these are our first time with this organization doing these. So I can't send them pictures and stats from what was done at another organization.
That's true. Yeah.
So we're going from, again, almost 12 years into day one.
Yeah.
So that's been, a challenge. But a lot of it too is I don't really reach out a lot for, things like that. We just post and people see what you're doing, and you're not asking them for nothing. You're just saying, this is what we're doing. And they see that and they're like, how can we help?
Gotcha.
Doctors or dentist offices will see, our wellness kit distributions and like, hey, here's 100 toothbrushes and toothpaste. Dope. So like a lot of the things that we have already kind of like the support and the donations that we've gotten have come from
just organic.
Yeah, organic or previous relationships that were for, like, Crisco's connected me with a lot of different people. Like there's so many, dope things about Crisco, but like one of them is like if he invites me out to like an event or something, like he networks for me. And like, I don't know how many times people will be like, oh, this is who you've been telling me about, and this is the organization I run. You've been talking, like, he's got his own nonprofit. He doesn't need to be telling people about, but for years he has. And that's, I mean, he's done that. And it's not just me. Like, he does that for, you know, anybody that, you know, he believes in or he knows their intentions, because he's been doing things in the community longer than I have.
Yeah.
And you know, he's from Houston, but everywhere he goes, he's heavy in that community. So yeah, a lot of the Sunny Slope Community Center connection came through just Crisco introducing me to somebody at Slope Fest.
Gotcha.
And then now with that, you know, we have tables at I don't know if you're familiar with the GAIN event that the city of Phoenix does. It's I can't remember what GAIN. It's an acronym. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's like the city's departments, and it's like a big resource fair.
Okay.
And they're, because, you know, it's like the police department, the streets department, like all the different departments.
Okay. Yeah.
And like, they're pretty particular about who they let have a table. Jeff, the guy who runs it, reached out and was like, "Hey, do you want a table?"
Oh, wow.
So we're 3 months in, and we already we're locked in for a table at their annual thing. Like, the mayor's out at that event.
That's fire. Council
members and stuff like that. So we were at that, and, you know, there we linked up with some of the council members. So we'll be working, you know, so, and again, came from Crisco. So yeah, it's a lot of organic, a lot of connections, and just networking and just having been in the community for as long as I have been.
Yeah. Are you seeing any support? Because I know we kind of talked about this before, but are you seeing a little bit different support now with your own organization as far as like the actual city like goes? You know what I mean? Like the city of Phoenix and even in New Mexico, like, are you seeing more support from the actual structural communities of the city, right? The police department, the municipalities of the city, right? Are you seeing more support that way? Or different support than you did before, or is it about the same?
Probably the same, because a lot of people thought the other organization was mine all that time. Even though I don't know how adamant I was about reminding people that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So many people thought that it was mine.
You were the face of it, for sure, though.
And so, but we really haven't, like, tapped in as much. Like, we kind of just, I just wanted to hit the ground running and start doing.
Yeah.
And the projects we're doing don't really require, like, hey, like, I mean, yeah, you can invite them out to cleanups, but I'd rather invite them out to something bigger.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, Councilwoman Pastor, you know, I know she's got a cleanup next week, and we were going to help, but we got our garden project.
Okay.
But her district is Maryvale, where we do our toy distribution is Maryvale. And
Gotcha.
So inviting her to that, as opposed to like, hey, come pick up trash with us.
Right.
Like, so I kind of hold off until it's like something, I don't want to say that's worth their time, because that kind of takes away from the impact of like the projects, like the cleanups and stuff, but something that they want to come out to that's more than a photo op.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And that's, I mean, like, I got, and me personally, even asking these questions, I have to remember that Ripple the Wave is still brand new. You know what I'm saying? So that support is, and I, you know, if you go to that event and have that table, man, what that's probably going to do for you is just sitting down with people and getting in front of people and letting them know, you know, the things that you are a part of. I do want to say, man, like these next few months, you already know, like, and I always tell you, but now that we're back like this, you know what I'm saying? We were like this for a little bit. Now we're back tapped in. Like what, just if you, and I'll get the list from you and put it up on all the socials and stuff, and I'll put it up on the video. I do want to make a little announcement for the people that's out there. You know what I'm saying? Not only are you the first guest, but you are the first official partner of the A Ward Show. So as you are watching this episode, you probably already saw the promotion for Ripple the Wave. We have been talking about doing something like this for a while, man. I think it's just lined up perfect with you having a new organization. And so the promotion is going to run every episode. Doesn't matter what's going on. I got a couple shot, and yeah, man, it feels good, and there's no monetary involvement, man. It's just brothers being brothers, man, and I think that's what's dope. So for all the people, man, you know, if I'm stamping it, and if he's stamping me, and I'm stamping him, man, then you know it's official. You know what I'm saying? So, so outside of the the trash pickups, which I know you are adamant about. Like, if you don't have a big event going on, you're out somewhere cleaning up something. And I know you definitely want to get outside of the kind of radius of Phoenix that you're in. I know you have kind of branched out, and with the new organization, I know you will. But what is like, and I know you got the stuff in New Mexico already cracking off, which is great. That's fantastic. Is there anywhere else you're either aiming for or you're starting to set roots in? What's that plan look like for you as far as expansion?
So doing it a little different with this organization.
Okay.
So right now I'm building a team, top down. Got an amazing team already so far. Great CFO, great board of directors. My VP, he was our executive director for the other organization, managing our New Mexico stuff. So he's out there. So he's our VP and COO. We got an executive director, Erica. So right now, just kind of building the team. That way, take the areas that we all got areas, strengths and areas of growth. Like fundraising. That's not me. So bringing aboard a fund development manager. So building this team to like what they excel in, to take that off my plate. So then I can start working expansion and doing what I have to do in the position that I have.
Yeah.
Places like that I want to. I mean, eventually I want to get us all 50 states and as well as international.
Of course.
So, obviously think globally, act locally. But I'm not really like setting like I want to go here.
Gotcha.
Because with the other organization, what I learned was I was so focused on I want to get us here. So I was so focused on that, I was not paying attention to maybe other possible expansion opportunities.
Okay.
And then also, I was heavy trying to get down to Tucson. And I think the last time I was on, I was like, I drove down there, had a meeting, and nobody showed up. So
that's right.
And that was more so because I wanted us to get down to Tucson, not because we really had a lot of interest
in Tucson.
And so really just waiting for it to organically happen, not trying to rush it. So as people reach out like, hey, we want the foundation here. Okay, now we start, how do we make this happen? What kind of research do we need to do? What, start that whole process.
What are the needs of the community, all that good stuff, Yeah,
and so just really making sure we have a solid team. And then from there, then branching out. Because again, we're not even half a year in.
Yeah.
So I mean, I talk to board members all the time, and I'm like, I want to expand. They're like, hold on, like,
we'll get there.
You know what I mean? Let's get us where we need to be out here to where,
let's just finish 2025 first, bro.
Yeah, and so I mean, I just have these like grand ambitions with the organization there, and they're all attainable with time. Getting a facility, getting all these things that we want to do, getting involved in the affordable housing realm. One of my board members, Justin, that's what he does. He's been doing affordable housing development for like 15 years or something. So once we're there, I'm like, hey, Jay, here's the ball. Run with it. Let's make this happen. So now we'll, eventually be able to, hopefully develop our own affordable and transitional housing communities. So that way, when we're doing I don't like calling it homeless outreach, but helping people in need that need housing, we could help provide that, because you can't solve homelessness without providing homes.
Yes.
And so being able to provide different programs, help them, with whether that's credit rebuilding, employment preparation, and helping them find jobs, like really giving them that second chance at that first impression, but also providing housing. So starting with transitional, show us that you're about this program that we're going to create. Once you're there for X amount of months, then we can move you to the affordable. You know what I mean? Really being not just being part of the process, but being the process of helping people. So like with Rippled Away Foundation, our 3 core avenues of outreach are youth, environment, and people in need.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we're obviously going to have all the other outreach avenues, the seniors, the animals, the veterans. We actually just brought aboard Giovanni out in Albuquerque as our new veteran engagement and programs coordinator.
Okay.
So we're going to start developing programs and helping veterans.
Dope.
And so
huge need too.
Absolutely.
That's a huge need. Yeah.
And because many veterans are experiencing homelessness.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
For sure.
And he's a veteran, so he's very passionate about it.
Which is crazy, but yeah.
And he can relate to these individuals as they're talking, because again, you're a veteran. Like I'm not a veteran. Yeah. I have all the respect, obviously, for veterans.
No, it is a totally different conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah, and so, it's just, grow, but organically, just keep planting these seeds. And what's cool is there's certain seeds that were planted through the years
Yeah.
that I never really had a chance to cultivate, and now the opportunities are going to pop up over here with this organization.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just really just about growing organic, not trying to force it, not trying to, you got to crawl before you walk before you run. And so right now we're still crawling, but we're just crawling at a very fast pace.
You got to be a ripple before you're a wave, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So for Diana and Timothy and, all the people that are out there that want to get involved, where do they go? First of all, is there anything that specifically from a volunteer standpoint or from a company standpoint, that you're looking for, like, as a need right now?
I'll always say volunteers first and foremost.
Okay.
Like hour a week. Like if I have 20 people giving me an hour a week, make a lot happen with that.
Okay.
And these cleanups are kind of a way for us to show that, like, the pictures where it's like, our volunteers came out and picked up 12 bags of trash in an hour or an hour and a half.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it just shows you that impact. And so, volunteers. But really, any way anybody wants to support, we'll find a way to make sure that support is maximized in the community, whether it's monetary or tangible donations, or companies that have those volunteer programs for employees and they're looking for places, or schools where seniors need volunteer hours. Like all these different ways, like we have a need in everything, and so utilizing that need to make sure that, again, if you donate monetarily, 100% of what you contribute goes to what you want it to.
Right.
If you volunteer, it's what you're passionate about. That doesn't necessarily mean like if you volunteer, you got to be out here picking up trash. If that's not what you're into, come the next weekend when we're doing a garden project, when we're doing games with seniors. Like, what are you passionate about? If we don't have those projects, guess what?
We'll find them.
Yeah, we'll create them. Yeah. We'll start making those happen because we want to tap into what our volunteers are passionate about. The whole concept between Ripple the Wave Foundation is, every time a volunteer comes out, that particular project, that event, they're creating their ripple in the community. Yeah. And then the more you come out, these are just more ripples, and all these ripples are going to lead to waves of impact. Yeah. So it's manifesting waves of hope, one ripple at a time.
Dope. That's so far, man.
Appreciate that.
I like, because I love the name, and I love how you connect to it. You know what I'm saying? And having known you for a couple years now, it's like it super when I saw the name, I was like, yeah, that makes sense, bro. Like that's dope. How can people get connected with Ripple the Wave to volunteer?
So all the socials. Well, I can't say all because we're not on TikTok yet. I didn't do X, but like Instagram, Ripple 2 Wave. So it's the number 2. So Ripple number 2 Wave Foundation. Mm-hmm. And the reason I did the number 2 is because this is my second chapter in my efforts in the community, but also the number 2 in numerology, means peace, compassion. Like there's so much that goes into that number. Mm-hmm. So that's why I did Ripple and then the number 2. And so one thing with the name is I wanted it to not just, hey, that sounds cool, but have depth and meaning. And so it's crazy because I was so stuck on the name, but how many people are like, I love the name. The name is what makes me want to volunteer and get involved. Like, so it's cool to hear that. But yeah, so Instagram, Ripple 2 Wave Foundation, Facebook, Ripple 2 Wave Foundation, the website, ripple2wavefoundation.org, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of them. Just look for Ripple 2 Wave Foundation.
Make sure you get on TikTok too, bro.
I'm waiting to one of the positions I'm gonna be filling is like doing our social media stuff, because I do social media on a daily basis, right? So, but it's like that I need someone else to kind of do it for here. So and I'm not on I don't have the bandwidth. I said Snapchat was the last social platform I was getting, and so I know TikTok's very beneficial. It's just I don't even know if I got storage space to download the app on my phone. Gotcha. So once we bring someone in that's like TikTok savvy, then we'll be on TikTok.
Cool.
Because I'm not going to be out here doing all these little, these little dances.
Yeah.
I know it's more than that, but that's how I think of with TikTok.
Nah, man, it's so much more than that, man. Because
I
thought the same thing.
I'll be in the grocery store. I see these kids in the chip aisle. They're just like doing. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go.
No, it don't matter where they are, man. They will do a dance. No matter, they could be in the middle of the ocean, bro. They're like, we doing a dance. Yeah. Dope. Yeah, but get on TikTok, man. We got to find. So if there's any social media people out there that are savvy, make sure you hit up my boy, Mr. Right with Anthony Freeman, Ripple the Wave, because he needs you to set up the Ripple the Wave TikTok.
And run it.
and run it. You know what I'm saying? So
I could set it up. I just don't want to run
yeah, and run it, and really do it. Man, brother, I appreciate you, man, for stopping through, making the journey out here to SoCal, Arizona, to come see your boy. We will post all the socials, but let them know you already let them know where to find you at. And then, like I said, you give me that list of what you got coming up for the next year. For all the people, man, out there, I know we're already in November, so there is no excuse. There is no excuse for you to say I can't make it on December 13th, unless you're out of town. That's it. If you are physically at home doing nothing, just sitting around watching the boob tube like most of us, get your butt up. I'll be out there for sure, man. I'll be in town, so I don't have nothing going on. I'll make sure I'll put that on my calendar so I can get out there, man, and help out and anything else you need. If you guys have stuff that you can give away, man, so many of us have our kids' toys that they don't play with. These kids play for toys for 10 minutes and then they're off of them. Games, gaming system, whatever, right? And clothing items, right? Not worn, not used like as far as like socks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Draws and socks. If you guys can pick up some draws, pick up some socks, this stuff is very beneficial. And I will say this, man, over the last couple of years, I've seen the homeless community kind of build up a ton, like downtown Phoenix, even in northern Phoenix, where my 9 to 5 is, man. Like it's way crazier than what it used to be. And it's not saying that everybody has, it's not always a drug problem. Like you said, there's veterans, there's mental health, which is a huge thing. And so that little bit, man, you have no idea like you said, can just change somebody's day, man. You might set somebody up to get that job that they really want to get, but they haven't been able, like this stuff is huge. So if you guys have stuff that you're holding on to and you haven't looked at for 2 years, man, or just anything that's at the crib, any way you can help to give food, whatever, man. If you're going to give it to anywhere, give it to Ripple to Wave, man. And we better see your butts out there on December 13th. Appreciate you, bro. Anything you want to get out of here with, man, that you want to let the people know about?
I appreciate you for, having me on as your first guest, but just having me on in general. Any chance to raise awareness about, Ripple the Wave Foundation or just link back up with good people. Yeah. If you were in Queen Creek, I'd still ride out there.
I appreciate you, man.
But yeah, just, I'm grateful for all the support, from, the volunteers that, again, I don't want to say followed me, but kind of they wanted to stay active in the community. They knew where to go.
Yeah.
But like, the volunteers that, came over, new volunteers that we've gotten, just the different community partners, supporters, just anybody that has hit that share button, the like button, the follow button, like that's support in itself. So just, stay tapped in, stay tuned in. And, if you can come volunteer, we'd love to have you. We strongly encourage youth participation. So kids are welcome at everything we do.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the many things that set us apart from many other organizations. A lot of other ones have an age limit. Like you have to be, 13 or something like that. Yeah. Like we got a volunteer who's 3 from age 3 up to probably 60 or something. Yeah. So any age, wherever you're at in the valley, we're looking to expand out to the East Valley. I just don't have no volunteers out there really, aside from we got one volunteer, D, who comes out from East Mesa to volunteer with us. Yeah, so we definitely want to get out there to where she can have an impact in her community. And so, just because like you might see right now, most of our stuff is Central or West Phoenix. That doesn't mean like that's where we want to like remain focused. We're trying to get wherever there's a need, we're trying to be at.
Yeah.
We just need the people.
Yeah.
Give me the people, we'll make it happen. So,
for sure.
Just thank you to everybody who's supported in any way and continues to, and just looking forward to, what comes. Every first thing we've done with this new organization has been amazing. It's been, again, I don't set expectations, but if I were to, it would have exceeded any expectations from our first project. Our first official project was a cleanup, and we had like 30 plus volunteers come out to pick up trash at 7 a.m. on a Saturday in the Phoenix summer. So everything we've done the first of it's just been great, and I just look forward to keep going and keep growing.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Like I said, make sure you guys follow my brother here, man. We're gonna post all the socials. I'm gonna post all the events. Make sure you get out to as many as you can get out to. Donate, donate, donate. Other than that, man, I appreciate y'all know where to find. Hit that link tree. You know what I'm saying? Get all my socials. And then when he gets on TikTok, I'll let y'all know. Other than that, man, y'all know I love y'all. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the love every single week, man, on the socials, on YouTube. If you're listening, all my audio listeners, you know I love you. And you guys have a great week. And I will see you, John, turkeys, next week.